going on YouTube and Twitch? We're back with another video and stream, and right here we have 3 disturbing true thunderstorm horror stories. 20-minute video by Mr. Nightmare. And yeah, let's get into this. Damn.
The month of August is full of thunderstorms where I live, which inspired this video topic. Thunderstorms evoke a certain emotion for me, as I used to love watching thunderstorms with my grandfather.
Story 1. Okay.
I was at a ripe young age where being left home alone was exciting. I was like 13, and my parents had just recently started entrusting me to be home alone overnight. The only condition was I couldn't leave.
I don't even remember what age I was when I was like home alone for the, day, I guess, or night. I don't know.
The house or have anyone over, but I was fine with that. Something about being able to blast my music or video games without my dad yelling at me was just exhilarating. To make things even better, it was a rainy night which turned into a thunderstorm. I sat outside under the awning for a while, watching the thunderstorm as I like to do. I've always loved thunderstorms, as they just make staying in so much more cozy. After a while of watching the storm, I moved my Xbox from my room to the downstairs den TV. My dad's huge flat-screen TV with the Bose sound system. The only time I'd get to game on there was when I was home alone, and I loved it. The den was a half flight of stairs.
Yeah, a lot of people love gaming at home alone, especially online games. People love the curse online when they're home alone. Their parents not around, but yeah.
Down from the living.
I don't really since I have a PC set up, I only took my PlayStation downstairs a couple times. I'd say the only time that I really hopped on my console and I was downstairs and talking online, I'd say it was probably when I had a Switch, when I was playing Fortnite and group chat, those little, not group chats, but in lobbies. And I would just talk to other players and stuff, so yeah.
Living room level, and it was level with the backyard, so the backyard door was in the den. I'm describing the house in past tense because I moved out, but my parents do still live there.
Okay.
So I was playing Black Ops down in the den with the volume
Black
blasting.
Ops.
I was playing online multiplayer in a party with my friend Cody.
Okay.
I had some crappy old headset, which the only audio you could
I feel like
hear was
everybody
other people
had
in the
those
lobby
crappy
and game
headsets
talking.
when
For a
playing Call of
13-year-old
Duty
standards,
Xbox.
it was the perfect night. Until something interrupted my peace.
What was it?
The sound of the
ringing
doorbell.
the doorbell.
It was past 9 o'clock by then. I told Cody the doorbell rang, and he said I should go check and see who it was. I wondered if maybe it was my parents back home early.
Nope.
They had the keys, so they wouldn't ring the doorbell. I hid in a spot in the game where I wouldn't get killed. Then I went upstairs to the front door, asking who's there. I didn't realize how much of a mistake that would be.
Wait.
A male's voice on the other side.
Upstairs to the front door, doing GTA 6 trailer 3 come.
It said, I need.
I'm not reacting to no damn GTA 3 trailer, bro. No, bro.
To use
you just want me to rewatch something that I already watched. I'm not watching no GTA 3 trailer, bro. What am I watching the trailer for? A short trailer? What am I watching the trailer for on stream? What am I recording the trailer for? Bro, not GTA 3, GTA 6, my fault. GTA 6. I'm not doing the GTA 6 trailer reaction, bro. Things gonna take a couple of seconds up to a minute or two. I'm not doing it.
I didn't know what to do, so I didn't answer and went back downstairs. But it was too late. The damage was done, and I let whoever was out there know I was home. I told an answer and when it would be. A male's voice on the other side said, I need to use a phone. I didn't know what to do. So I
don't open the door,
went
bro.
back downstairs. But it was too late. The damage was done, and I let whoever was out there know I was home. I told Cody about it, and his reaction was simply, yo, what the fuck? He agreed with me that I shouldn't open the door.
Yeah,
But the doorbell rang again. Cody said,
parents always used to tell, bro, don't open the door, no matter who it is.
To ignore it.
Especially
That was the last
when you're
time I
home
heard
alone
the
in
doorbell.
general, so.
And after a while, I relaxed again, as it seemed whoever was out there had left. I can't explain the roller coaster of emotions I felt that night. One moment I'm on edge, the next I'm relaxed and back into the fantasy world of my game.
Bro,
Then,
call your
as I was
parents,
most
bro.
at ease, I heard something to my right,
and
when I looked, I
did he
saw the
break in?
back door closing and some tall man stepping inside.
The hell?
It was not my dad. It was a stranger. I dropped the controller and ran for the office door, and the cord to the headset quickly ripped out of the controller. I made it to the office and slammed the door shut, and I'm by no means exaggerating when I say the second after I locked the door handle aggressively shook as the man on the other side tried opening the
Jump
door.
out the window, bruh.
The office had two
Just
doors in
jump out
it,
the window, bruh.
one that led to the den and one that led to the garage. My
Bruh.
only chance to escape the house was to go through the garage.
Oh,
But before
okay.
even moving, I just stood still, waiting for something to happen on the other side of the door. Seconds felt like minutes. The man knocked on the door and said, "Little boy, I just need to use your phone.
Need to use the phone. You need to use the phone, but you break into someone's house. What's wrong with you, bro? Move on to the next house, bro. Hit the road jack. Keep it. Kick rocks. Keep it going,
His
bro.
knocks
Keep it
turned to
pushing.
pounds as his voice got louder and angrier sounding. It gradually turned to yelling and pounding. He yelled, "Open the fucking door, you little shit," as it sounded like he was literally trying to break down the door. I had no choice but to go through the garage. I pressed the button to open the garage door, and it was so loud and slow to open that I prayed the man couldn't hear it. As soon as it was up about halfway, I crawled under and ran through the storm a few doors down to our neighbor Julian's house, who I knew well because I used to play with his dog Copper when I was little. I heard Copper barking as I rang the bell, looking back in my house, hoping not to see someone coming down the block.
Imagine he just pops up right behind him. Boo.
Julian opened the door, and I ran into his arms, begging him for help, as his wife came out of the kitchen in confusion. When I told them of the break-in, their demeanors instantly changed. Julian got the police on the phone and handled getting them to my parents' house. It was a long, long wait before the police were outside, and Steve and I went out to them. I told them the same thing I told Steve, and after they asked which door was unlocked, I said the garage. A couple of them went through the garage into the house, and after maybe 5 minutes, they came outside with a man in handcuffs. They made sure he didn't see my face. After he was in a police car, they asked me if I knew that man, and I said no, of course I don't know that man. He had been telling the officers that this was his house and that I was his son. I could tell he was drunk or high or just generally crazy based on the things he was yelling and the way he was acting. He was brought to jail, and my parents had to be contacted regarding how they wished to proceed, and they pressed charges. His name was John McCarty. He got charged for, I believe, criminal trespass. It didn't make me feel any safer that that man would one day be out and know where I lived.
Wow.
Thankfully, it was just a random chance encounter. I don't believe he specifically targeted me or our house. So
just one of those those weirdo situations where they occasionally come to your house and knock on your door, or just pull up to you and ask for something. It's like one of those.
I never thought in a million years that anything truly horrific would ever happen to me. I'm an average person with a boring enough life that anything out of the ordinary was really out of the ordinary.
For real.
This is why I was always okay with watching or listening to those creepypasta and true horror stories on YouTube. I still do watch them often, but after my own experience, these stories scared me in a whole new way. It was late at night, I'd say around 4 a.m., but I don't really know for sure, and everyone else in my house was asleep. My mother and both of my grandparents. For the past 2 months or so, we get at least one major thunderstorm per week.
Like, what do we be finding these videos from? I don't know where they be finding these, like, stock videos from.
And it just so happened that this one decided to start earlier that night. Now, I always enjoy a good thunderstorm, especially at night when you can go sit by a window and just watch the lightning.
True.
But something about the wind of them always creeped me out. Maybe the fact that it could be soft or deafening and switch between the two almost instantly. But for some reason, wind has always given me huge creeps. Now, this night's thunderstorm was one of the worst
I think it's the way it
blows.
Time. I don't know.
It sounded like rocks were hitting my window all night, but I was enjoying listening to it while I browsed Reddit, as I do. When all of a sudden, the power
browsing Reddit while in a thunderstorm? Okay, buddy.
Out in the blink of an eye.
You better go on YouTube or something. I don't know.
But I didn't really
play a game or something.
Because I had my data and a decent charge on my phone, so I continued browsing. After a little while, I started to get tired, so I figured it was time to shut my phone off and get some sleep. I placed it on the side table next to me and rolled over to go to sleep. I guess I passed out. I
usually place my phone on my bed. I'm not
remember anything in between the rain hammering at my window and the eerie silence of a soft wind outside. I assumed the rain stopped while I was asleep. I rolled over to get more comfortable because my side was hurting, and then I realized just how parched for water I was. I took a few minutes to try and fall back asleep again, but it didn't happen. My mouth was just too dry. I sat up, grabbed my phone, and turned on the flashlight so I could have a source of light to the kitchen to grab a glass of water and go back to bed. As I opened my bedroom door, I was smacked in the face with a blast of cold air. It was
What the hell? Someone probably jumped into bro's window.
freezing in the living room.
Oh, never mind. That's the living room.
I quickly threw on a sweater
Yeah, someone probably broke in.
and continued to the kitchen. As I was nearing it, I could hear the wind becoming louder and the temperature become colder. I reached the kitchen
Isn't it
and
like
walked in,
most
grabbed
of
the
these
glass from the
stories on
cupboard,
here,
and
someone
started
just
to fill
breaking
it with
in?
water from the tap. I took a quick glance around the kitchen and noticed something weird.
Just turn the
The
whole
door
light
to the
on.
patio was left open.
Yep,
Naturally, I
someone
was
broke
weirded
in,
out by this and a little scared, thinking of how that could happen.
as I assumed.
I ended up rationalizing to myself that my grandfather must have left it open earlier that night and just forgot about it. I walked over to the sliding door, glanced over my shoulder out of paranoia, and slid it shut and locked it. I fast walked back to my room just in case. I opened my door and closed it behind me, and then laid back down in bed, my glass of water on my side table and flashlight still in hand. I was able to calm myself down slightly, enough to turn off the flashlight and try to get some shut-eye. Something inside of me wasn't letting me forget the possibility that there might be someone in my house. I got back out of bed again and slid my chair from my desk to my door in an attempt to keep someone out. I then checked the closet again, just in case. I laid back down again and kept my flashlight on as a sort of nightlight this time. Then, the most disturbing thing that's ever happened to me occurred.
What happened?
I felt a slight
What?
bump come from under my bed, accompanied by a creak of the
Oh,
bed
hell
springs.
nah.
I then realized I hadn't checked under my bed
This dude got monsters under his bed, bro.
like an idiot. It felt like I was gonna vomit, and I leaned off the side of my bed and peered underneath.
Whoa, whoa, who this? Bro. Who bro invited in his house?
I
Who did
saw
bro
the
invite in his
disturbing
house?
sight of an extremely unhealthily skinny woman with bloodshot eyes and yellow teeth staring back at me. She was smiling an ungodly grin that I still can't get out of my head. She stared at me for at least 3 seconds while I was still trying to process what I was seeing before she, I swear to God,
Can we skip past
cackled
this
like
picture,
a
bro?
fucking witch. At this point, my whole brain was screaming nope, and I leapt out of my bed towards my door, moved the chair as fast as possible.
Man, if you don't lift that jaw up, start. Pick your leg up and start. Like it's some type of one of them songs that they stump and clap. You better start
And
doing that,
sprinted
bro.
down the hall to my grandparents' room. I banged on the door as loud as I could while calling for my grandfather. He was out within seconds and he had a gun in his hand, something he had never even mentioned having in the house.
What?
We ran to my room, him in front of my grandmother and I, and we just barely caught a glimpse of a white figure running away from the bedroom window. My grandfather took a shot, presuming as a warning to tell them to never come back. We didn't end up calling the police because
Oh, I
we
thought
figured they wouldn't be able to do
I
anything
thought
since
bro
we don't have
bro
security
caught a
cameras
body.
or
I'm about
have
to
any
say
idea who she even was.
the way
All I
she
can
the
guess
way they
is that
said
this
she
woman
was running,
dangerously ill.
the way they said she was running, it sounded like bro was trying to aim and do dare hunting or something.
And saw my bedroom light on before the power went out. I have no idea what her intentions were or if she even knew what she was doing. We're getting the windows and doors in the house installed with locks sometime the next week just for safety. And all I can say is,
Wait, a window
even if you
without
live
locks?
in a safe area
Are you
or a trusted
serious?
community, bad things still can and do happen. And you always have to take precautions against such
And that's another
things.
reason why I hate when people always say, "Oh, our neighborhood is so good that we could leave our doors open." Who told you that? Yourself?
It was August. My girl Cass and I went upstate for a little weekend getaway at my family's rustic mobile home. It has running water, electricity, and a toilet, so we call it luxury camping. The home is very small, about 600 square feet. One bedroom, one pull-out couch in the living room, one bathroom,
Wonder
and
who
a very
built
small
these things.
kitchen. Despite its remote location, there's lots to do, including archery, shooting, dirt biking, and off-roading. We had a whole little itinerary planned for the weekends. Friday,
Yo,
we
why does
mostly
this
just
look
went
like why does this look like the Wild West, bro? Genuinely, like where are they at?
to eat, went grocery shopping, then
Yeah.
relaxed. Saturday, we did most of the stuff I just mentioned before, until it started getting really cloudy out, like storm clouds. We
Oh
also
shoot.
could feel it in the air that a big
It's
storm
like
was
the
brewing.
country. Like the
So we
country
put all the
country.
stuff we took out back into the outbuilding. We put a movie into the DVD player as we cooked dinner. At some point while we were eating, we heard the sudden torrential downpour of rain on the roof of the home. Pretty
Alright.
soon, there were loud, thunderous crashes of lightning almost directly overhead. We both wanted to go sit outside and enjoy it as we ate.
Why
We
would you go
relaxed on the
outside and
deck
get struck by
outside under the
lightning?
canopy with an amazing view of the sky.
Who the hell decides to wake up and be like, I want to go outside and get struck by lightning?
Long bolts of lightning constantly lit up the dark night sky, the thunder booming almost instantly after the lightning strikes. We were right in the heart of the storm. And then we heard something out in the woods. It was a voice, a loud voice, seemingly calling out something, but it was nowhere near discernible. So the place is really remote, like I said. Hearing any other voices nearby would already set off alarms in normal conditions, but during a storm like this, it was extremely concerning. We had to assume that it was a lost hiker or something. I stepped over to the edge of the deck, getting a little wet as the rain blew in under the edge of the canopy.
Okay.
With the constant crashing of thunder and lightning, there were moments of light in the vicinity that allowed me to see just far enough away to the tree line where the woods began.
Then what happened
There was
after?
a person out there, clear as day.
Oh,
I told Cass, and she instantly freaked out, thinking I was joking and telling me to stop. I considered calling out, asking if they needed help.
bro was
Decided
probably
against
standing
it
in
on
the rain like
grounds
the
that I was
Terminator.
kind of scared.
He just says,
This weekend was my idea though, and I did kind of drag
yeah, the person that they probably saw over there was probably standing like this. I might run a lie.
Cass up here. I didn't want to ruin the experience freaking her out. I went back to her and said I think it's a hiker. She asked if we should offer some help, and I said not unless they come knocking on
A
the
hike?
door.
Hold up.
I told her we should go inside, and I nudged her in. I went back over to the edge of the deck just out of curiosity. I got even wetter as I looked around until I spotted something. It looked like a person again, much closer to the deck, like a lot closer, only about 20 feet away now. I continued to look until a quick flash of lightning briefly exposed a man standing there, confirming my suspicion. He was wearing bright colors and almost looked white. He was just standing still. That was the scariest part. He wasn't even approaching the deck or anything.
Where was he
I went
going?
inside and quickly locked the door.
So if he wasn't
Cassidy
approaching the
saw
deck,
worry
then where
in my
was he going?
face. I felt my heart racing and I almost felt nauseous. I'm sure I almost stuttered as I said, I don't know who that is. And then I saw the worry in Cass's eyes worsen. I did my best to keep her calm, telling her to expect someone knocking on the door asking for help.
What?
I said they probably just need shelter from the storm. I tell you, it was the longest 5 minutes ever, just sitting and listening to the pouring rain and lightning outside, before we felt and heard the footsteps outside on the deck, even over the sound of the storm. The home doesn't have a doorbell, so we expected a knock on the door, but instead, there was this weird shuffling sound on the other side of the lone wooden door. It sounded like attempts at opening it. It was at this point that the worry I had been feeling had peaked. I think I felt an adrenaline rush at this point.
Oh no.
Cass was already in the bedroom hiding at this point, and she was quietly calling for me to come. The noises at the door stopped, but there was never a single knock. I went to the bedroom and told Cass to just remain
That's
quiet.
an
I'll be back in the room in a
old-fashioned
second.
John.
I wanted to look out the
I'm not even
window.
gonna lie.
I went back to the living room and turned off the lamp. I took a second to just breathe before yanking the curtain open. I looked out the window and I saw the white figure of the man running away from the window and quickly disappearing. I didn't know what was going on. I hoped that they ran away
Yeah,
for good.
bro's freaky.
To be
Bro's
safe,
weird.
I went to the kitchen window and looked out. This one didn't have a curtain or blinds. I realized about halfway to the window that there was a face on the other side. I could see it even through the blur created by the rain on the window. I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Yo, go away," trying to sound scary. They didn't move. Now when I say this, I know it sounds incredibly cliche.
What's gonna
but
happen?
We don't have Wi-Fi in the home, and the cell
Oh.
reception is very on and off. During a storm like this, there was no reception at all for either of us.
So what did you do?
There was my dad's rifle under the bed in the bedroom, though. I left the kitchen
okay.
and hurried to the bedroom where Cass was sitting in the bed biting her nails on edge. I grabbed the rifle under the bed from its case. since
Deer
she hadn't
hunting.
yet taken it out.
Yeah, I
There was a
remember that
magazine
game and video I
already loaded
did.
with
Deer
rounds,
hunting.
thankfully. So I popped the mag in the rifle. Doing this in front of Cass obviously meant I was no longer sugarcoating what was going
Oh
on,
yeah,
but it
you
didn't
doing it for
matter
the
because there was
odds.
suddenly a bang at the bedroom window. Something was either thrown or someone straight up banged their hand on it. And then a second later, there was a bang from another window out in the living room or kitchen.
Oh hell nah. Did he run from window to
It was more
window?
than one person.
What?
This had
No.
gone far enough at this
Oh yeah,
point.
grab the
I
rifle.
told
Grab
Cassidy
the
to wait
rifle.
in the
Grab the
bedroom.
rifle. Grab the rifle.
I
Grab the
went to the
rifle.
front door
Get
and
that.
positioned myself to be ready to potentially fire at anyone on the other side of the door should they rush me. I quietly unlocked the door, and when I was close enough to mentally ready, I yanked the door open and drew my rifle up, pointing at the door. No one was there, and so I hurried outside with adrenaline controlling my actions and spun around quickly to ensure no one was on the deck. Then I went
Yeah,
to the
don't run around
stairway
that
and
thing,
looked
bruh.
down, and there was that guy in bright colored clothes standing where he was before outside the window, apparently trying to look scary. He looked up at me. He already knew
That's
I
a
was
headshot.
outside, but I doubt he knew
That's
I
a
had a
headshot.
gun. I shot the rifle into the air, and I heard the guy yell in a deep voice, "Oh shit," as he ran away into the darkness.
Yeah.
I heard at least
Yeah,
two
you better
fading
run.
yelling voices, likely communicating to each other, and then it was just the sound of the storm again. I don't know how many people were out there. At least two, maybe even three. It could have been teenagers playing some fucked up prank, or it could have been some really messed up people trying to scare us and break in. I don't play around like that though. If anyone came up that deck while I was outside, I would have shot them dead.
Oh shoot.
They were not
Okay.
there seeking help, and that is a 100% certainty. The next day was Sunday, and so we packed up and left. There were no signs of anything having been done to my
All
car or
right.
the home or anything from the night before. I made sure to lock everything up and take anything of particular value home this time. Out of all the years of my family owning the place, that was the only encounter like this any of us had ever had. It really put a bad taste in my mouth about the place and being in an
Dang.
isolated place. I've been up there a few times since with my family, but I would never ever go alone.
Well, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys like the video and stream, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out my bio for the rest of my channels. And yeah, subscribe to Mr. Nightmare. Peace.